And a happy Sunday to all of those who are joining us today. We appreciate you sharing a part of your weekend, giving you a live look outside. And now is the time, it's the morning to get outside for that walk, that jog, the dog walk. Get outside with the kiddos as well before we've got some storms that could be rolling through our area. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Anusha Roy. We want to get right over to Chris Bianchi because we know that some of these storms could be impacting folks' plans for today. Not a washout, you just got to be smart about your timing.
And if you do get under one of these storms, they'll be slow moving, so they could sit there for half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, and kind of dump some rain and even some hail. So just worth noting. I will say the severe weather risk, yesterday we were talking about the severe weather risk. Eastern Plains got hammered last night. The good news is the severe weather risk today is much lower overall for us. But in Denver, we actually have a higher risk for seeing a storm today compared to yesterday. Again, the severe weather risk is lower. The chances of a storm are higher, if that makes sense. For us here in Denver, low to mid 80s for us. Morning sun, afternoon showers and storms, 12 to 6 p.m. I know that's a wide time window, but we're going to have a fairly long period where we could see a shower or storm. So let's kind of break it down for you. Reason why the Eastern Plains probably going to get left alone today, you got a lot of cloud cover. That's going to limit your instability. The amount of heat that gets through, storms need heat to develop. But in Denver, we got a lot of sunshine right now. That's going to allow those shower storms to kind of bubble on up. Meantime, we do have some patchy fog out there, 1.25 miles visibility in Fort Morgan, 3/4 mile visibility in Fort Collins this morning. But where we've got the sunshine, that's where we'll have the risk for severe storms today, up and down the I-25 corridor. And that's where we're going to have, again, more sunshine, hence that higher risk for some storms and even a few severe storms today. Higher risk south and west sides of the metro area. Southern Jeffco foothills, Red Rocks on down to about Dougco, Castle Rock, Highlands Ranch. You'll have a greater chance of seeing a shower or storm. Downtown Denver on north and east, lower odds, 30-40%. I would say about 60-70% chance south and west of downtown Denver. Otherwise, tomorrow, more storms. I'll have details on those and a very hot and dry middle of the week forecast coming up in a couple minutes.
All right, thanks so much for that, Chris. Developing right now, Denver police are investigating a deadly shooting at a gas station on the west side of town. Happened near 5th and Sheridan Boulevard. Police say 2 people were shot in a car Saturday evening just before 6:30. They were taken to a local hospital where 1 person died. Police say the other person is in critical but stable condition. Right now, they're working to identify the suspect or suspects involved in this, and anyone with information is asked to call Denver police. An update to a story we first brought you yesterday. This video is capturing the moment people started climbing out of the 2nd story of a Denver apartment building after it caught fire. Happened on Clarkson Street near 22nd Avenue. 5 people had to be taken to the hospital. Some of them got out thanks because of a neighbor who raced across the street to help. Adam Steinbach says that the flames cut off access to some of the door's exits, forcing people out of the window. But he quickly realized that the window awning was not strong enough, so he jumped in to help.
Just figured out how we going to get him down. It was definitely too far to jump. So yeah, I just ran back and grabbed a ladder, threw it up, and was able to get a couple of them down before fire department showed up with the taller ladder.
Right now, we don't know the condition of the 5 people taken to the hospital, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. New this morning, the Pickens County Sheriff's Office says it rescued 2 people after receiving reports of 2 boats that had capsized. This is near Basalt Whitewater Park on the Roaring Fork River. Pickens County Emergency Dispatch got that call just after 2 p.m. about 2 people floating downriver. Several agencies jumped in to help. They found the rafters and then pulled them out of the water. One of them was treated at the scene. The other was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The Sheriff's Office hopes that you are listening to their warning that the river conditions are changing very quickly this time of year. The Colorado Springs Police Department says a suspect is in the hospital with serious injuries after being shot by a police officer. The department says they observed a disturbance at a business that was on South Nevada, just north of East Colorado Avenue. When officers approached that business in the Springs, they saw a man holding a firearm, and that's when they took off running. Officers ordered that man to drop his gun, but he kept running, according to investigators, and that's when an officer fired at least once at that suspect, hitting him. No other injuries were reported. This morning, we are continuing our coverage in Friday's plane crash in Arvada, and now we are hearing from the homeowner who walked outside to find a plane on his front lawn. After making an emergency crash landing, the plane stopped in Randy Hamrick's front yard. He said the house was violently shaking, and then he saw this heavy orange glow outside his window.
And then to see an aircraft on fire in our front yard just That was unexpected. When I first opened the door, it was just fully engulfed, flames, 10, 15 foot in the air right here. It was kind of, the nose of it was kind of towards the front of our pickup.
Randy says by the time he quickly put shorts on and then ran back out, people were already helping the passengers get out. 4 people were sent to the hospital with serious or critical injuries. The NTSB confirmed 2 were adults, and Arvada police said the other 2 were children. In world news, President Joe Biden was in France over the weekend reacting to news of Israeli hostages rescued after being taken by Hamas in October, and then doubling down on the U.S. commitment to a ceasefire deal. Israel says the hostages were taken to the hospital and are in good condition. Gaza's health ministry said that more than 200 people were killed and another 400 hurt in that rescue operation. We don't know how many were civilians.
We won't stop working until all the hostages come home and a ceasefire is reached. That is essential to happen.
Standing alongside Biden was France's president as well, who added his support for the U.S.-backed ceasefire proposal. It is something Israel has questions about and Hamas has yet to accept. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said in a written statement that the deal has been endorsed by international groups and 16 countries that have their citizens among the hostages being held in Gaza. Now, Gaza did receive more than 1 million pounds of humanitarian aid this weekend. It comes a day after the U.S. confirmed troops had successfully reattached a pier used to bring in those supplies. Officials are now planning to ramp up operations there with the goal to get 1 million more pounds of food and other supplies through that pier every 2 days. So far, officials say the pier has tripled the amount of aid coming into Gaza. And in the U.S., thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside of the White House this weekend to protest President Biden's handling of the Israel and Hamas war. Protesters said that they want the president to stop sending Israel military aid, and they are demanding an immediate end to the war.
In a sense, it's a really physical manifestation of people rejecting Biden's refusal to draw a red line, to keep moving the goalposts, even when he says, oh, if Israel invades Rafah, it's going to be a red line for us. And then the invasion goes ahead and no red line is drawn.
Police say the event was peaceful for the most part and no arrests were made.